thank you for tuning in to Sundays at the Square. We had to pay a couple of bills, but we are back with the lovely ladies of
Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, the mighty Mu Theta Omega chapter.
I laugh every time. I love it. 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 Okay. So we were talking about the expo, and we will go back to that. The Central Texas Community Expo.
Yes.
But I want to talk a little bit about the organization. I want to talk a little bit about being an AKA, and I want to talk about you guys' personal story on how you joined and all of that. So I'm going to start with Miss Stephanie.
That's right, deference.
So I'm going to give a little bit of AKA history because this is the 110th year of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority. We are the premier Black Greek letter organization, and we have been serving mankind for 110 years. The Mighty Mu Theta Omega chapter will celebrate its 40th anniversary this year, so we are kicking it off with the expo, and we are excited about the service that we'll be providing this year.
Awesome. That's huge.
Yes,
wow, that's huge. Okay, so tell me a little bit about the history of AKA. How did it start?
I'll let you tell about that, Kentrisa, about our founding at Howard University.
Okay, so back in 1908, at Howard University in Minor Hall, our founder, Ethel Hedgeman Lau, saw the need to have a Black Greek organization for women. And she got together with 15 others, 16 founders. And then we call our 4 incorporators. So we say 20, we have 20 founders. And just saw the need that was there at that time for us to come together to be a support for one another, but not just a support for one another, but to be of service to mankind. That's our motto, service to all mankind.
Wow.
And we go out in our communities and do just that. Like I said, I know you said you wanted to ask us about our background about it. For me, it started as a freshman in high school.
Wow.
I'll never forget. I'm born and raised from New Orleans. What's up, Ghost Saints? Yay! All right. So you can tell I'm one of them New Orleans AKAs at heart. We're a little different, but it's all good. We still serve the same purpose. But anyway, it was my aunt who took me to Xavier University and HBCU, which is one of our targets, and we'll get to that in a little bit. And we went to the homecoming Greek show, and it was just something about the ladies that just spoke to me. They came out, and it was like the world just stopped, and I saw this light. I kid you not. You hear people say, I saw the light. I really did see a light, and it might have been the lighting, but that's neither here nor there. I was 14 years old, and it was like, oh my God, I want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
This is something special. I knew it in my heart then, and I carried it all the way to college. And believe it or not, I joined my senior year of college.
Wow.
So it took me that long to get my act together. Keep your grades in order, people.
So in order to be in the AKAs, you do have to have good grades.
Oh, yes, ma'am. You have. I mean, this is a sorority of excellence, and we want to make sure that everyone knows that. So
I love that.
I
love that alone.
Look, once I got my act together, then I went through the process of becoming a member, and I'm happy to say that I've been a member for over 20 years.
Wow.
I don't look it. Wait, y'all see me? I don't look it.
She don't.
Hey,
Not at all.
but I have been a member for 20 years.
Wow.
Fall 1997, Zeta Theta. Shout out to Southern University at New Orleans. That's right, at, not of. Get it right. An HBCU. Okay.
And I have her beat. I am a silver star, which means this is my 25th year in Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority.
Wow.
So I'm happy to be a member. I am a second generation Alpha Kappa Alpha woman, and my daughter is an AKA as well. So that's who was doing the ski-wee in the background because my voice is too heavy for all that. Yes, ma'am. 3 generations strong. My introduction to AKA was similar to Kentrisa's. I was an Alpha Kappa Alpha debutante, a little bougie, sorry.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little bougie. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bougie.
So I was an AKA deb in high school, my junior year in high school. the Alpha Kappa Alpha women mentored the debutantes, and they took us to step shows on the campus of OU. They taught us how to sip tea. They taught us how to plan budgets.
Wait, quick question. Is your pinky
Your pinky's not supposed to be up.
Oh, all this time. Look, I'm going to, when I go to the event, I'm like, you know, one of those
if you see the queen, you know, pinky is not up.
never out.
No.
So where did that come from?
I'm not sure where that came from,
Okay,
but we
so-
do say that's why we do the pinky, but that's not, it's not really, that's why.
Okay.
So those women influenced me, and the women that were in the debutante cotillion or sponsoring the debutante cotillion were important women in the community. My principal was an Alpha Kappa, my assistant principal, I'm sorry, was an Alpha Kappa Alpha woman. My pastor's wife was an Alpha Kappa Alpha woman.
Wow.
My mother was online when I was a debutante. So she became an Alpha Kappa Alpha woman back when they pledged people for longer periods of time. We don't do that now.
Please understand, we do not do that anymore.
We don't pledge, we don't haze. So I saw dynamic women doing positive things and wanted to be a part of that. I went to a regional conference in Oklahoma, and the speaker was an attorney. And from hearing her speak and that inspirational thing, I wanted to be an attorney. I became a social worker instead, but I definitely
Better
wanted,
work.
Yes,
Much better work.
it's about service.
Yeah.
And then I, of course, became an Alpha Kappa Alpha woman. I did not become an Alpha Kappa Alpha until graduate school. The undergraduate school that I went to did not have a chapter, so I had to wait until graduate school, and I pledged at Beta Psi Omega, the graduate chapter in Austin, Texas, where you're from.
Okay, Austin, Texas. Shout out.
Yes, while I was at UT. And so
my mom went to UT.
Did she? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I'm probably older than your mama too, but that's okay.
I don't think, no.
No? Okay. All right.
Awesome. That's awesome. Okay. So let's talk about now the service that you guys do in the community. I know we talk a little bit about the expo, and for those who are just tuning in, you're tuned in to Sundays at the Square. I am your host, Toni Ringgold, and I am sitting with the lovely ladies of
Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, the mighty Mu Theta Omega chapter.
I think I'm about to do that like 10 more times. So I want to talk about what you guys are doing in the community specifically, especially in this area, Central Texas.
Okay, so the expo is actually a fundraiser. It is fun, but it is a fundraiser as well. All the proceeds from the expo benefit the scholarship and charitable contributions of Alpha Kappa Alpha Mu Theta Omega chapter. So we give away an average of $10,000 a year annually.
Wow.
Tony's eyes just popped, so I'll say that again. $10,000 a year annually to graduating seniors in this community. And we support other charitable events. We have a park that we have adopted. Our park has chess boards due to our partnership with my daughter, who's a Silver Award Girl Scout, and did a chess park in Hunt Park. Not only do we do that, but we support breast cancer and heart health. We have done a 5K. I walked, I didn't run, I'm just going to say. Other things that we have done to raise funds in the beginning, so let me just do some clean history. When Alpha Kappa Alpha started here in Killeen in 1978, our first fundraiser was a spaghetti supper. So we have progressed.
Honey.
And
Yes.
so shout out to Miss Heath, who cooked all the spaghetti for our first fundraiser.
That's so sweet. I bet it was good too. I know it was good.
We're still here 40 years later, so
That's
it has to
right.
be some good spaghetti.
Some
Yes.
good spaghetti. That's so
It
good.
was.
That's some, somebody
That's
put
some
their foot in there.
foundational spaghetti.
Yes.
Okay.
And she did become the food service director for Clean ISD and retired a few years ago.
Wow.
So we have had dynamic people a part of our chapter and our fundraising for several years. Kentrisa, you want to talk about some more of our events and charity?
Oh, yes, because one of the targets that we have 5 targets that is in line with our corporate, which is in, Chicago. So target 1 is our Ascend program, where we mentor not only young ladies, but young men who want to be a part of. And what we do is take them on college tours. We help mentor and guide them into being, positive citizens. We want them to be a part of the community, and we want them to continue to serve as well, and to make sure that the community they become a part of is a community that they want to share with others. Yes. Also, we have our backpack initiative. Like this past summer, we partnered with the men of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated for a backyard barbecue, in which we raised I know well over 100 backpacks.
Wow.
And we donated them to Rancier Middle School.
Awesome.
So everything we do for this community, for the Killeen, Harker Heights, Coppers Cove, Belton, because we take care of Central Texas.
I love it.
We make sure to give back to the people who are so giving to us.
Yes.
So every time we have a fundraiser, you better believe that it's not going into chapter funds for
Y'all heard
us.
that, right? You heard
for
that.
us to buy jackets or any such thing. No. Everything we earn from the community goes back to the community in ways of either directly with the kids, like I said, through our backpack initiative, or it goes back by way of scholarship. As we say, 10,000 since I've been here, and I've been a part of this chapter for the last 5 years because I just moved into the area. And so that's 50,000 right there, over 5 years.
That is wonderful. That is truly, 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 truly wonderful. If people want to be able to connect with you all in some way and to be able to help support what you are doing, do they have to be an AKA to help?
They do not have to be a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha to help serve the community. One opportunity we have coming up is that at the expo, if you bring in school donations so that we can pack our backpacks, you will be registered for cash prizes so you can help the community while you help yourself.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Cash prizes. Bring me some notebooks and pencils.
That's right. They can support our events by coming to events like Expo, supporting our events. We did an Alzheimer's Longest Day event where we played games for mental wellness and stability, so they can come to those events. And if they want to know what we're doing, they can follow us on social media at Killeen AKAs. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of that stuff, so that you can find us.
Now, is there a such thing as an alumni association? What in the world? Is there a such thing as an alumni association? How does that work?
So there are undergraduate chapters and graduate chapters. As I already told you, I'm a Silver Star, which means that I have been an Alpha Kappa Alpha for 25 years. So, I have not been, I've been out of college a long time. So we are graduate chapters or alumni chapters. And usually you will be able to distinguish an alumni chapter because it says Omega at the end. Our undergraduate chapters, which are our college students, are housed on campuses with a few exceptions. In San Antonio, they have a citywide chapter that's undergraduate, and they do service as well. And they follow similar targets as the graduate chapters.
Awesome. Well, listen, I'm ecstatic. I'm so excited about everything you guys are doing. I think that it's really important to understand the dynamic of education. How important is it for education with you guys?
I'm going to take this one because I am the educator.
Yes. So you're a teacher. What do you teach?
I teach math, believe it or not.
Okay. And what
middle
grade?
school math.
Oh, Lord.
Middle
She
school.
got the middle schoolers.
Yeah, I love the middle
Look at my
schoolers. I love them. I actually taught kindergarten for 3 years. I taught a year of first grade. I taught 2 years of second grade. And I love middle school. And my students will tell you, Ms. Gillespie always talking about she love us. Yes. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I tell them, get on my nerves too much. I'm going to work at Walmart.
Middle school babies. I commend you. Let's give her a round of applause. I'm telling you now, because middle school it can be very difficult because they're at the age where they're still very young.
Yes.
But they think they're grown.
Yes.
And you can't tell them nothing because they got 5 classes now.
The devil is a lie. Yes, you can. And I tell them all the time, but you got to tell them in love.
Right.
And that's the difference. When they know you care about them and you know they know you want what's best for them and you take that time, trust and believe. They know the difference. As they like to tell me, we know who real and who not. And I'm like, all right, baby.
Oh, that's sweet. Okay, so education.
Okay, so education is really important to the women of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. As I already mentioned, you have to have maintain a certain GPA before you can even think about membership. And again, our target 1 is education. And that's what we call it, education, because we want to make sure that all students have a fair beginning and have a good foundation so that they can grow and be whatever it is they want to be. I really believe that a child can be anything they want to be if they're given the tools to do such.
Right.
There's a saying that we do in my class before we leave. It says, no matter who you are or where you're from, your future is up to you.
I love that.
You know,
I love that. No matter who you are or where you're from,
your future is up to you.
I'm gonna write that on. I have affirmations.
Yes, that is our daily affirmation.
Really, really good one.
Yes, that's our daily affirmation every day before they walk out of class. I don't even have to start it anymore. One of the kids, Miss Gillespie, it's time. I say, well, go for it. And they'll start it. No matter who you are, and then the class join in, or where you're from, and we all say together, your future is up to you. And we had a long conversation about that at the beginning of the year.
That's so sweet.
Well, because that's my story. I'll get to that a little bit later if we have time.
Give it to me now, because we got a few minutes and I want to hear your story. Remember what I told you. People connect with your story first before they connect with anything that you're doing. So I want you to encourage some of our listeners that may be listening, they can hear a little bit of your story to even encourage themselves.
Okay. Well, I'm one of those kids that came from a single family household. Let's just be real. My mom was a single mother with 3 kids, 2 of them bad. Shout out to my brothers, you know. But believe it or not, one of the brothers wasn't the bad one. That was all me. But anyway, and I had some issues and some troubles. I was that kid that you saw my name on your roster and you're like, oh, Lord, I got her. And they start praying. But I said, I kept you close to the Lord, so we good.
Yeah.
But like I said, I had the advantage of having a strong mother who made sure that, oh, you're going to get this work done. And I did, because I didn't play with my mama like that.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But coming from New Orleans, I mean, at the time, I'm a 70s baby. I was born in the 70s, but grew up in the 80s. And to be honest, the cards were stacked against us at that time for African-American children. But again, we had back then that sense of community. Even then, it really was a village that raised a child. Because when my mom could no longer take care of me the way that she wanted to, because I just had so many issues going on, I went to go live with my grandparents, my dad's parents, you know. And so they picked up the land, they picked up the torch when I was 11 years old, and I've been running ever since, because, Grandma didn't play that.
Granny didn't play either.
Grandma didn't play that.
Yeah.
See,
So you got that structure and that discipline and those things that you needed.
I did.
And that strap.
That's right.
Oh, yes.
That's right. Don't get it twisted.
Mm-hmm.
I was so scared. I always tell this story. I was in the 8th grade, and I was an A student. I didn't have no problems. I was well behaved by that time. Grandma had got me real straight.
Good and together.
Good together. Okay. Yeah. And so I had an A in the class, and I was like, had this poem, Lil How You Watch. I was like, I couldn't really understand it. I didn't see the need for it. I had an A in the class. So when it came to my turn, Miss Givens, that's right, Miss Givens, I remember her name. Miss Givens says, all right, let's hear it. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I'll just take the F. And she didn't say nothing to me after that. She was like, okay. I go on with my day. I go home, school. Grandma was waiting at the door.
At the door.
At the door.
Do your head.
At the door. Before the name, she was at the door. Screen door open. I'm like, hey, Grandma. And all she said was, you'll take the F, huh?
Oh, Lord.
I knew then. And I took an L. I took the F and an L on that night.
Okay.
But you better believe. And then that next morning, she said, and you will go do that poem. By the shores of Get You Goomy, by the darkest.
Do she know the poem now? That's what I'm talking about.
So
listen, that was a life lesson.
That was a big life lesson. Either you're going to do it the first time, or you're going to do it with some help, but you're going to get it done.
But you're going to do it.
But you're going to get it done.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. Well, this has truly been a pleasure. I want to thank you, ladies, for coming in. I'm going to have you introduce yourselves one more time. And I'm sitting with the lovely ladies of
Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, the mighty Mu Theta Omega chapter.
And with that, we are out. Thank you guys so much for listening. Remember, you can always follow me on social media. Toni Ringgold, that's RINGGOLD. Find me on Instagram. You can also go on the myb106.com page and you can listen to this show and all the other past shows. And if you haven't gone on Facebook, make sure that you go and like the B106 Hip Hop and R&B page. And most of all, remember, there's enough sun for everyone to shine. Y'all be blessed.